I remember I was at Whataburger, Texas, man, and this guy's like walking around with this 53, and there's like literally a fight happening in Whataburger. We're standing on top of the table watching this fight happen, and the order guy steps on top of the table and is like, 53, 53. I'm gonna get you started on that. So today I'm gonna be telling the story of the elk and the rear naked chokehold. So this was when I was in the military. I was in New Mexico at home, an Air Force base. And this is when I was young and stupid and as a firefighter. You know, like, you're a firefighter in the military. You drink every other day. You know, like you work 24-hour shifts. So we're at this little Irish pub, and we're driving back. And so it's like 2 in the morning, something like that. And he's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, and he's driving this like red, like Mercury Cougar. We're having to drive like maybe like 10, 15 miles an hour because there's so many elk on the road. It's like, picture like herds of cows, but like that's how many elk are on this back road. And so we're driving. He's like, hey man, like, I really want to shoot an elk this year. And like, what if we just shoot one right now and like put it on the car? Yo, man, I don't know the rules, man. I don't hunt. I fish. We're cruising down the road. And he hands me the 38. And I point out the window. It's bow. And I hand back to him. It's bow. He hands back to me. Bow. And then, this is out in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico, okay? It's kind of like the Wild West out there. I'm like missing everything. Because, man, I don't want to shoot anything, you know? And then he hands the gun to me. And I point out the window. And I see this huge elk, just this massive elk just laying on the side of the road. And I was like, oh, dude, hey, man, like, this thing looks like it's hurt. Like, we should help it. And so we both get out of the car, and then we walk into this elk, and it ended up getting hit by a truck. It got clipped on its rear leg. And so I was like, hey, man, we should put it out of its misery. Disclaimer, that is illegal. You can get a felony for that. So if you do see an elk on the side of the road, it's you suffering or whatever, call the game warden, okay? Just whatever state you're in, just call the game warden. He'll come take care of it. Okay. So, we're trying to put out his misery, and we don't know what to do. So, my buddy, we check his gun. He has 1 bullet left. And there's a little laser sight on it. So he puts a laser on it. He walks up to it, and he's like, you want to do it? And I was like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, I can't. Like, and so he gets it, and he points at it, and then pulls the trigger. And I look over, and the elk's still sitting up. I'm just like, what the hell, man? He misses, man. How do you miss a point-blank damn shot with a laser sight, man? That doesn't even make any sense, man. So now we gotta figure out like what we're gonna do. So we're like wrestling through his car trying to look for something, and he finds a mag light. And he's like, all right, man, like this'll do it. So he walks over the elk, he whacks it in the head, and the thing is like looks at him, it makes this noise. It's like, I don't know, there's something wrong with his lungs, maybe. I don't know, and I was just like. And he goes back, tries to hit again. I was like, no, man, no. Like, hey, man, we need to find like some other way to like put this thing out of misery that's not like hurting a damn thing. So we go back to the car and we're looking around, scrounging around. He's like, hey, man, look, and he picks up this massive boulder, and I was like, no, man, get that thing on the ground. What the hell, man? What is wrong with you? I don't got time, man. We gotta figure out something to do, man. Like. And so I go and I don't like sit on the elk, but I straddle it. You know, I'm straddling it. Maybe I'm actually sitting on it. I don't even know. And I'm petting it. And his eyes, man, were like huge. And it's like we're literally eye to eye with this thing. And I'm looking at it, petting it. And it's like, and it's like looking at me, you know. And it looked just like my dog Trigger. I'll show you my. This elk, 125-pound German Shepherd named Trigger. I still have the check the guy wrote me for him for $100. So this elk just reminded me a lot of my dog Trigger, and I felt like really emotionally connected to this thing. I was like, man, like this sucks, because it was like I was putting down my damn dog. So I'm petting it, and he's like, hey man, I wrestled, and he's like, what if we just put it in a rear naked chokehold? And I was like, I mean, like, yeah. If you ever seen You, Me, and Irene, I watched that movie, I don't know, it was like maybe 2 years ago. And when Jim Carrey is in the damn robe with that cow, and he has his fingers up his nose. Dude, when I saw that, that's the closest representation I could get to it actually happen. So if you watch that movie, pause it in that scene. Just that little, I don't know how long that section is, but just watch that section. And just remember what I'm saying right now. So my buddy gets down and he puts this elk like through his legs and there's some kind of position or whatever. And then I'm standing there and I got my 2 fingers up its nose and I got my knee on its throat. And I'm sitting there trying to like, we're trying to choke this thing out. So he's like, going back. I mean, fingers up his nose. We're trying to put this thing out of his damn misery, but we're definitely making it worse. I look up at one point. I was like, man, I'm sick and tired of this. Man, this is ridiculous. And I look over, and the car is in the middle of the road. The car with the freaking lights off in the middle of the road. And so I was like, hey, man, I think it's dead. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to let you digest that. If you liked what you heard or and saw, please click that like and subscribe button. Because this is all my disabled ass can do right now. Peace.